We'll connect. Yeah. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayam Mudiraye Nishtaprayeshu Abhadreshu Nityaṁ bhāgavata-sevayā Bhagavati Uttamashloke Bhaktir Bhavati Nishtiki Aradhayo Bhagavan Vrajeshatanayas Tadhama Vrindavanam Ramya Kachitupasina Vargena Kalpita Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam pramanamamalam Prema Pumartho Mahan Śrī Caitanya Mahāprabhu Matamidam Tatradara Naparaha Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Pristhaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swamin Iti Namini Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharini Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatadesha Tarini Jai Shri Krishna Caitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Adi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Krishna, maybe some network error. Today my internet has been a little crazy. Don't know why, but I hope you can hear me. So thank you for joining. We are reading Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, Canto 10, chapter number 4, entitled The Atrocities of King Kamsa. And just to reconnect, we have been reading about how the ministers tried to pacify Kamsa. When Kamsa was fearful, what will be the outcome? He did release Devaki and Vasudeva after begging for forgiveness. He came back, shared with his minister. Now the ministers are speaking all these verses and basically reminding, oh Kamsa, you are so great, demigods are scared of you, you are so powerful, your arrows are so sharp. In short, no one can defeat you. Even Brahma and Shiva are scared of you. What to speak of ordinary people? Even Indra is scared of you. So let's see what happens further from text number 36, I think we read last time. So we'll read from 36. Hare Kṛṣṇa, Hare Kṛṣṇa, Kṛṣṇa Kṛṣṇa, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare. Kim Shema Surair Vibudher Asamyoga Vikathanai Rahojasha Kim Harina Shambhuna. Actually, we read that. I'm sorry. Didn't read that.
You're right. This
37 we have today.
It's completed until 35.
Either my network is not good. I couldn't properly hear. I remember this verse was read. Lord Shiva is in. Everyone is fearful of you. Everyone is fearful of you. Yeah, we did read this one. Sorry for. We'll read 37. Sorry. Tathapi deva shaptyan nopiksha iti manmahi tatastan mula khanane niyun shavashman anuvritan. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace Śrī Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada Śrīla Prabhupada ki Jai. Nonetheless, because of your enmity, our opinion is just that the demigods should not be neglected. Therefore, to uproot them completely, engage us in fighting with them, for we are ready to follow you. Purport. According to moral instructions, one should not neglect to extinguish fire completely, treat diseases completely, and clear deaths completely. Otherwise, they will increase, later be difficult to stop. Therefore, the ministers advise Kamsa to uproot his enemies completely. Hare Kṛṣṇa. So, the ministers are telling that yes, they are not significant. They means the demigods are not significant in front of you, like Indra, Brahma, etc., etc. But nonetheless, you should not ignore them, and we will support you. And then Prabhupada is mentioning in the purport that 3 things here: diseases, death, and fire must not be neglected. Even if they're in short fire, let's say like a tiny, if a paper starts to burn in the home, right, due to whatever reason, accident, intentional, or mistake, whatever. But if we ignore that, the paper may cause the whole home to burn eventually, if it is not controlled, or right. And everything starts with a scratch only. Like every fire starts with a scratch. Like so many fires happen in India because of this crackers. Like one cracker, one small cracker, and at one time it happened at our place also. But of course, there was no major damage. But a small cracker caused a fire, big fire. Rooms can burn, buildings can burn. Forest fire. They all happen with scratch. Same with debt. These days, people one debt. To clear that, they take the other debt, and then the other debt, and especially in America, and then credit cards, loans, and so many other things are there. So debt is also one of the things. Again, I'm not talking about finance here, but especially if it is for sense gratification, living beyond the means, that is certainly not recommended. Or buying a new fancy gadget on debt, right, to prove to the world, and then that is certainly not recommended. And same with disease, right? Any disease in the small phase, it may be small, whether it is. So in the initial stage also, the point is that it should not be ignored, because if it's ignored, it may turn to a big problem later. And I think they say that for the cancer also, like if it is caught at an early stage, then the chances of getting cured are high, and then the more further advanced one is in cancer, or any disease for that matter, the difficult it would be, because it will spread, the fire will spread, the death will spread, the disease will spread. And then once they spread, it's harder to control or overcome. So similarly, coming back to the Kamsa story, and it's also valid for desires, right? Desires also, the desire may be small, and one may think, yeah, it may fulfill a small desire, nothing will happen. but then it will bring 10 more desires. Similarly, the desires also must be completed, uprooted by the process of bhaktis. Similarly, Kamsa's ministers are telling to completely uproot your enemies. These are enemies. These are enemies for humankind. That fire, disease, desires, material desires, of course. Spiritual desires are healthy and we must have, but material desires, so all these must be uprooted. So let's see what happens further. 38. Yes, Vipul Prabhu, and to read.
Guruji. Fortune devotees, Dhanava Pranam, all wishes Śrīla Prabhupada. Text 38. Jatha mayo agne somo pekshito nirvir na shakayate luddho padas chikitsitum jatandriyo gramo upekshitas tatha ripur mahan baddho balo no chalate. Translation is Divine Grace, Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, Śrīla Prabhupada ki jai. As a disease, if initially neglected, becomes acute and impossible to cure, or as one says, if not controlled at first, are impossible to control later. An enemy, if neglected in the beginning, later becomes insurmountable. So, Prabhuji already explained. Here, one thing I see, like when you tell people to quit smoking, they say, oh, I've been smoking since I'm 15 years of age, almost 40, 50 years. Even they have bad diseases, but they cannot quit. So, but people who just started 1-2 years back, it is very easy to quit for them. Back to Prabhuji.
Very good point, Prabhu. Thank you. Yes, I remember that, personally also. In the college only, I started drinking coffee. Never used to drink coffee before, but in college, everyone's drinking. I thought, okay, let me also try. And then in the first year, I drank some coffee because everyone was drinking, And I thought it's not so bad to drink coffee. It's okay, everyone is drinking. And then I met devotees and said, well, coffee is not good. I said, okay, I won't drink coffee. So it was simpler. It was compared to if for my parents, giving up tea was much harder because they had been drinking it for 50 years. Especially in India, giving up tea is harder. As you said, 50 years. So, and also I was thinking that sometimes, sometimes the person may be doing it, oh, it's not as harmful. Let me take in small amounts. It's not harmful. I've been doing it for 50 years. It didn't cause me much harm, right? But the outcomes may come after 15 years. Suddenly, lung cancer, smoking. I've been doing it for 15. It didn't cause me much harm. I'm living a normal life, which they could be. But then, right? Vipul Prabhu, is that correct? The outcome can come after 15 years or 5 years, right?
Yeah, more the years they do, more chance of getting
more chance.
Any disease, COPD, cancer.
So true. So therefore, better cut them at the very time we observe, or don't even try to let them grow. Like they're weeds, they're enemies. The more we let the enemy be there, the more they will strengthen their forces to harm us, to exploit us. Same with the mind, conditioned mind. The more we listen to the conditioned mind, the more we will become in the grip of the conditioned mind, who is an enemy, who is a very, right? Who's a Mahaveri, who's a Mahashatru, who's a big enemy. So Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam is teaching a lot of life lessons also. If just people live by these principles, half the problems will be solved. Is it not? So helps to take care of finances, helps to take care of body or health, right? And helps to take care of fire, you can say fire of desires too, right? Because it's like starts with a small thing. Can I get this? Okay, then it turns into an inferno of desires. So thank you. I'll read the next one. 39. Yes, Mataji, you want to read?
Dandat Pranam, Jai Srila Prabhupada. Moolam hi Vishnu Devanam Yatra Dharma Sanatana Tasya cha Brahma Go Vipras Tapo Yagya Sadakshina. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki jai. The foundation of all the demigods is Lord Vishnu, who lives and is worshipped wherever there are religious principles, traditional culture, the Vedas, the cows, brahmanas, austerities, and sacrifices with proper remuneration. Here is a description of Sanatan Dharma, eternal religious principles, which must include Brahminical culture, brahmanas, sacrifices, and religion. These principles establish the kingdom of Vishnu. Without the kingdom of Vishnu, the kingdom of God, no one can be happy. Nate vidu swartha gatim hi Vishnu. In this demoniac civilization, people unfortunately do not understand that the self-interest of human society lies in Vishnu. Durashaya bahir artha manina. Thus, they are involved in a hopeless hope. People want to be happy without God consciousness or Krishna consciousness because they are led by blind leaders who lead human society to chaos. The Asuric adherents of Kamsa wanted to disrupt the traditional conditions of human happiness and thus defeat the devatas, the devotees and the demigods. Unless the devotees and demigods predominate, the asuras will increase and human society will be in chaotic condition. So here it is saying that how that all the demigods get their strength from is Lord Vishnu, and some lot of Hindus believe demigods are equal to Vishnu. That's because you see a building, you don't see a foundation. So you may not see their dependence on Vishnu. And then it says that we have religious principles, Vedas, cows, austerities, they must be worshipped and religious principles must be followed, and Vedas, cows, brahmanas must be protected, and austerities and sacrifices must be performed and the correct remuneration means money should be given. And then it comes to the purport saying that here these people are involved in hopeless hope. They want godliness, they want good things, but without God. It's like in today's world, they say there are companies, taxi companies like Uber, and they don't have cars. There are companies like Airbnb, but they don't own any homes or hotels. And there is all this thing is going on, and there is humanity without really humanly feelings, and there is hopeless hope. So this happens when the demoniac people want to take over, and this also happens when blind leaders, they want to lead human society in chaos. And unfortunately, we are seeing such a big example of that right now in all the wars that are erupting. And it's like so fast. Syria happened, so many people were walking on the streets, and then Afghanistan happened and so many people were displaced, and then this Ukraine is happening, so many people were displaced. In between, there were so many other things, this pandemics, and it just really shows that there is we really need Krishna consciousness, and we really need real peace. Back to you, Prabhu. Please add. Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much, Mataji. I'm just reminded of His Holiness Navyogendra Swami Maharaj's words yesterday. Was mentioning in the morning class that there was a English man somewhere around 1800 800, or I don't know the exact time, or a little before that, he came and surveyed India. He said he went from north to south and east to west. And he said he could not find a single thief. He could not find a beggar. And everyone was so content in their lives. And then he listed what are the main reasons for that. And he mentioned the main reasons are their education system, the Gurukul, which basically is centered around the foundation of Vedas or Krishna consciousness. The cows, so the austerities are of course included in the Gurukul system, cows, and then simple life centered around Krishna, centered around Vedas, scriptures, Bhagavad Gita, Bhāgavatam, and cows. He said if we have to conquer India, we have to break their backbone. And the backbone of spiritual knowledge, culture, and cow protection. So they started killing the cows, started, discouraging the value of cows. Now people are finding, cow dung has these many properties and that many, cure for cancer, and Nobel Prizes people are getting by, in Germany, they are teaching Sanskrit language, studying Vedas, and now they're trying to get importance, but the value certainly was demeaned because people like Kamsa. Because this is the foundation, as is mentioned, the foundation of all the demigods, Lord Vishnu, who lives and is worshipped wherever there are religious principles. So wherever, because Krishna is there where his devotees are, where cows are cared, Krishna is certainly present. Where Bhagavad Gita, Bhāgavatam is recited, sung, his name, form, qualities are recited and sung, where Brahmanas are there, where Krishna conscious austerities are there, certainly the Lord is present there. So basically, I think it will come in the later verse, that the point was that to uproot the foundation. And that's what Hiranyakashipu also did, right? To uproot the foundation of Brahmanical culture. But the other lesson is also we can learn that we should try our best to follow these principles of cow protection, serving the Brahmanas, doing Krishna conscious austerity, sacrifices with proper remuneration, following the Vedas, reading the scriptures, Bhagavad Gita, Bhāgavatam, chanting the holy names. Then Krishna will always be in our lives because that's where he lives. Even the evil ministers of Kamsa know that. Isn't that amazing? Even the evil ministers of Kamsa know that Lord Vishnu lives here. Now, only 0.1% of the population would know this. Think about the cultural degradation. What to speak of, they may not know who is God, or half of the people is totally atheistic and agnostic. What to speak of God, and what to speak of knowing that the foundation of all demigods is Lord Vishnu. Just look at that point. Who is speaking this? The evil ministers of Kamsa. They also know the source of all the demigods is Lord Vishnu or Krishna. And where does he reside? They also know that. So there is no confusion in the Shastras. Even in one sense, we can say even the demons know this. The foundation of all the demigods is Lord Vishnu. What to speak of your Vaishnavas. Any other thoughts in this verse before we move on to the next? Okay, next verse, text 40. Yes, Vaswati Mataji, you want to read?
Prabhuji, I'll read the next one.
Oh, sure. Yes, Srikant Prabhu, you want to read?
Sure, Prabhu. Hare Kṛṣṇa, everyone. Dhanavad pranam. Text 40. Tasmat sarvatmana rajan brahmanaha brahmavida vaidinaha tapasveno yajna shilan gasya cha hamno havir duggaha. Translation Prabhupada by Sri Bhaktivedanta Swami. Translation by H. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Prabhupada ki jai. O King, we who are your adherents in all respects shall therefore kill the Vedic Brahmanas, the persons engaged in offering
sacrifices and austerities, and the cows that supply milk, from which clarified butter is obtained from the ingredients of sacrifice. Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhu. Thank you, Chakrika, for reading this verse. So pretty much similar to the last verse. Now they are making basically plans to uproot the Vedic culture, which includes brahmanas, sacrifices, austerities, cow. Cow is the, half of the verse is devoted to cow. The cow protection is the most important. Can any scientist make a machine in this world which has zero waste? Rather, even the waste is helpful. For example, the cow is so special because cow is not an animal. Like one time someone asked Prabhupada, who's their best animal? Or what's the most important animal? Something like that. I forgot the exact question. Prabhupada said buffalo. And everyone was surprised because they were expecting Prabhupada would say cow. And then someone asked Prabhupada, is it not cow? We read so much about cow. And so you asked about the animal. Cow is our mother, right? Go Mata. Namo Brahmane Devaya, Go Brahmane Hitaya Jagaditaya Krishnaya Govindaya. Namo Namaha. All the demigods reside in the body of the cow. I shared, was writing some points actually on the glories of Gomata. Maybe I share some of those amazing spiritual benefits. Like here you're talking about clarifying, which is ghee, the cow dung, right? It's used as a fuel, right? To remove the inauspiciousness. And there are even go to Govardhan Eco Village and with cow dung. It's in the summer it gives cooling effect. In the winter it gives a heating effect. Isn't that amazing? Natural air conditioning. In summer it gives cooling effect. In winter it gives a warm effect. Right. So, and also it's mentioned that worshipping cows brings us closer to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Right. There are hundreds and thousands of types of milk preparations are made. Cow milk and yogurt and cheese and butter and different types of cheese, paneer and rasagolla, whatnot. Like there are hundreds of preparations are made from cow milk, which Mata Yashoda also used to do a lot. So in short, the demoniac tendency is to kill cows, which we see is very rampant. In fact, India is one of the biggest exporters of beef. It's a sad statistics, but it is the truth. The largest exporter for beef, cow products. Very sad. So we must all try to do our part, right? Our part to support mother cow directly, right? Directly is like projects like Veda Foundation and other Goshalas around the globe. So we can certainly go there and help, either physically or financially or in whatever way Krishna has blessed us with. We must try our best. If we can't directly do, right, physical seva, at least we can do in whatever way Krishna has blessed us with, and help. So we can say to Krishna, okay, I couldn't save all the million cows, but I did the best or tried my best to the capacity you gave me, my Lord. It's very hard paining to see the statistics. Okay, we may not be seeing it every day in front of our eyes, but the facts don't change. So we can be ambassadors of cow protection. We can, and the main thing is lack of knowledge. We share books. We share about the importance of cows. We share and we help those who are directly serving. So in any way we can help. Is every drop counts. So basically, the Kamsa Dutas, or the servants of Kamsa, ministers of Kamsa, wanted to uproot all these dharma principles like cows, brahmanas, etc. Any other comments anyone has? Yes, next verse.
You can read, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna. Dhanavat pranam everyone. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Text 41. Vipragavascha vedascha tapaha satyam damaha samaha Shraddha daya titiksha cha kratavascha harish tanuhu. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada ki jai. The Brahmanas, the cows, Vedic knowledge, austerity, truthfulness, control of the mind and senses, faith, mercy, tolerance, and sacrifice are the different parts of the body of Lord Vishnu, and they are the paraphernalia for a godly civilization. Purport. When we offer our obeisances to the personality of Godhead, we say, Nama Brahmana Devaya Go Brahmana Hitaya Cha Jagadhitaya Krishnaya Govindaya Namo Namaha. When Krishna comes to establish real perfection in the social order, he personally gives protection to the cows and the brahmanas. Go Brahmana Hitaya Cha. This is his first interest, because without protection of the brahmanas and the cows, there can be no human civilization and no question of happy, peaceful life. Asuras, therefore, are always interested in killing the brahmanas and cows, especially in this age. Kali Yuga, cows are being killed all over the world, and as soon as there is a movement to establish Brahminical civilization, people in general rebel. Thus, they regard the Krishna consciousness movement as a form of brainwashing. How can such envious persons be happy in their godless civilization? The Supreme Personality of Godhead punishes them by keeping them in darkness, birth after birth, and pushing them lower and lower into wretched conditions of hellish life. The Krishna consciousness movement has started a Brahminical civilization, but especially when it is introduced in the Western countries, the Asuras try to impede it in many ways. Nonetheless, we must push forward this movement tolerantly for the benefit of human society. As Prabhuji was explaining us about the benefit of cow protection, and here in the translation it's written, the brahmanas, cows, Vedic knowledge, austerity, all are like Krishna's parts of the body of Lord Vishnu, and so therefore all those are very, very precious. And I saw somewhere, I could remember, I saw a picture where someone putting all those people in the animal slaughtering line, like how they kill the animals. So like let them feel how they feel when they will be like someone to be killed, and putting in a line of queue of, I saw that picture somewhere, I can remember. But now in United States also, many people are going as vegetarian or vegan. So that movement already started, and ISKCON is now spreading everywhere now, all over the world. which is also giving a lot of consciousness. And sometimes I've got different WhatsApp messages from group. They're maybe not devotee, but they're sending me the videos and dances, kirtans from ISKCON, saying, see, you are in the ISKCON group, and see, we got this video. So I feel so good, like it's spreading the Krishna consciousness movement. Prabhupada started in the world, is now spreading everywhere, and the consciousness is actually growing. So back to you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much, Mataji. There are a lot of spiritual qualities also shared here, besides cow protection in this verse. Vedic knowledge, Vipra Gavascha Vedascha, studying of the scriptures, Bhagavad Gita, Bhāgavatam, Tapaha, austerity, spiritual austerity, Satyam, truthfulness, Damaha, sense control, Shamaha is control of mind, Shraddha, faith, having faith, very, very important in the scriptures, Daya, to be compassionate, to be merciful, tolerance, Titiksha, all these are what? Harish Tanuhu. Tanu means body. They are Harish Tanuhu. That means they're the body of the Lord. That means if we are preserving it or protecting, in one way we are worshipping the Lord. But if we are going against those principles, like not being merciful, not being sense control, not being developing austerities, or not doing all these, then we are basically hurting the Lord, right? Or going against the desire of the Lord. The Lord will not be pleased. Well, the Lord does not need for his or himself. It's for our own benefit. It's for our own benefit to have a godly civilization. As Mataji was mentioning, we want godly civilization without God, or without these principles. It's impossible, because these principles represent the Supreme Personality of Godhead in one. So we must try our sincere best to preserve these principles for our own good. And then Krishna will be happy. Because when the child is in the right direction, the father is naturally happy. The father does not expect anything else from the child. The father just expects my child should be in the right direction, isn't it? All the fathers or mothers, right? Right direction means not by their terms, but by the terms of what is really right for, not Shreyas, but Prayas. Sorry, not Prayas, but Shreyas. What is really genuinely good for them. Okay, sorry, how did we come here? We'll move on to the next one, 642. Anyone who's not read wants to read?
Prabhuji, I'll try, Prabhuji.
Yes,
Hare
yes,
Kṛṣṇa.
please.
Sahi sarva suradyaksho he asura dvid guhasayaha tanmula devata sarvaha seshwara sa chaturmukaha ayam vaitat vadopayo yad rasinam vihimsanam. Translation by His Divine Grace Śrī Prabhupada Ki Jai. Lord Vishnu, the super soul within the core of everyone's heart, is the ultimate enemy of the Asuras and is therefore known as Asuradvait. He is the leader of all the demigods, because all the demigods, including Lord Shiva, Lord Brahma, exist under his protection. The great saintly persons, sages and Vaishnavas also depend upon him. persecute the Vaishnavas, therefore, is the only way to kill Vishnu. To persecute the Vaishnavas, therefore, is the only way to kill Vishnu. Purport. And the demigods and the Vaishnavas especially are part of and parcel of Supreme Lord Vishnu, because they are always obedient to his orders. Om Tat Vishnu Paramam Padam Sada Pasyati Suraya. The demoniac followers of Kamsa thought that if the Vaishnava saintly persons and sages were persecuted, the original body of Vishnu would naturally be destroyed. Thus, they decided to suppress Vaishnavism. The Asuras perpetually struggle to persecute the Vaishnavas because they do not want Vaishnavism to spread. Vaishnavas preach only devotional service, not encouraging karmas, jnanis and yogis. Because if one must liberate oneself from material conditional life, one must ultimately become a Vaishnava. Our Krishna consciousness movement is directed with this understanding, and therefore the Asuras always try to suppress it. Hare Krishna. Prabhuji, to what I understood, Prabhupada is explaining very clearly on what is Krishna consciousness. It seems like I'm getting an answer because I'm new to Krishna consciousness movement, or very new to the family. I have a lot of questions, and seems like I am getting the answers from this purport. And Prabhupada is explaining very clearly that why is this Krishna consciousness movement coming in? One is to connect to the God and have that consciousness and getting close to Krishna, right? Second, he's also explaining that there are many people like Kamsa in this world, in Kali Yuga as well, trying to suppress the Vaishnavas, somehow distracting them and pulling them towards them. That way they are away from the God. But we have to be, it's us to decide, right? If we are focused and if we want to be close to Krishna, then we have to chant the Mahamantra and get closer to Krishna. And I think he also explained how Kamsa I forgot, Prabhuji. I was trying to say but forgot. Yeah, that's all I have, Prabhuji. Okay, please add or correct. Hare Kṛṣṇa.
Thank you so much. It's so amazing to hear from you in such a short time of a few weeks or few months. You have so deep realizations, and thank you.
God's grace, Prabhuji. Thank you.
So basically, what's happening is even these are Asuras actually, but Asuras are very intelligent. These are very intelligent people. So what they're trying to basically do, who are their enemies? The demigods, right? Or the Suras. Because Kamsa was thinking that, okay, maybe they will destroy. But they know who is the fountain head of all demigods, or the source is Lord Vishnu. And of course, we know that the Supreme Lord Krishna, the source of all. Now, the next step is, okay, where does he reside? He's in the core of everyone's heart, but the great saintly persons, sages, Vaishnavas, depend upon him. To persecute the Vaishnavas, therefore, is the only way to kill Vishnu. So basically, Krishna resides in the heart of devotees. Sadhavo hridayam mahiyam. He's in the heart of his devotees or Vaishnavas. And other things also, like we discuss the Brahmanical culture, cows, and Brahmanas, etc. Tolerance, austerities, all that. Basically, Vaishnavas follow all that. Vaishnava culture, Brahmanical culture, etc. So even the Asuras had this understanding, right? To uproot Vaishnavas or Vaishnava culture will cure the problem. No more enemy, no more Asuras, so no more Suras, demigods. The Lord will be disarmed, basically. Vaishnavas are his life. Krishna says, Vaishnavas are my body, Vaishnavas are my life and soul. I can do anything for my, like a father can do anything for the children, the mother can do anything, go to any extent, sacrifice themselves for their children, right? The Lord says like that. For his devotees, I can go to any extent for my devotee. Like this famous episode between exchange of Prabhupada and his disciple Malathi Prabhu, which Prabhupada said that she can slit her throat for me and I can do the same for her. That's a real relationship between the Lord and the devotee, the Guru and the disciple. So basically they planned to kill the Vaishnavas. And then Prabhupada is always emphasizing, therefore, there are a lot of Asuras these days creating so many obstacles in the preaching mission, but they will always be there. Even in the time of Kamsa, they were there. At the time of Krishna, they were there. So nonetheless, Prabhupada is saying we should continue, right? We should continue. No obstacle means no growth, right? So obstacles means when we go against the obstacle, then only there is growth. So we must try our best to spread the Krishna conscious movement through so many ways: programs, kirtans, bhajans, books, prasadam, Hare Katha, Bhāgavatam, caring, spreading this culture, cow protection. So many unlimited ways are there to spread Krishna consciousness to the best of our ability. This is going to really make the Lord happy. This is going to make to preserve. The best way to preserve the culture is to spread it, right? So we must do our best. Any other comments, questions before we wrap up for today? Anyone has?
Prabhuji, I just recalled, just wanted to add.
Yes, please.
I was thinking when Prabhupada mentioned that Asuras were thinking of killing the Vaishnavas, I was thinking maybe they know, they read the Vedas, but they were mistakenly thinking that, I mean, they know that Vishnu is in their heart, right? The sages' hearts and all. By killing the sages, they feel like they are killing Vishnu, right? It's impossible to kill everybody, but then they are trying to kill. So I was mistakenly understood that probably they missed the point that all the living entities are part and parcel of Vishnu, but it's not the other way around, right? Vishnu is in everybody, but everybody is not equal to Vishnu. I was thinking maybe they forgot that point, but Prabhupada explained it very even more good, that it's the Vaishnava consciousness in the hearts of the people is what they're trying to kill, not actually the person itself. And that is difficult too, right? When we chant and when we get together, every time we get close to the God, and it's very hard for the other folks. If we are really focused on what we are doing towards God, it's very difficult for them to kill the God within us. So just wanted to share.
Thank you. Thank you for your thoughtful comments. Thanks so much. 100% sure if I absorbed everything, because you're quite deep. That's what I'm getting. And very thoughtful. It's good. It's a good Vishnu quality to be deep and thoughtful.
Thank you, Prabhu. I hope I did not confuse trying to explain.
No, you did. We're grateful for your association. Thank you.
Hare Kṛṣṇa.
Okay, so I guess we will pause here and continue. Well, tomorrow is Saturday, so we'll have our Bhagavad-gita class in the morning. And then we'll resume later and see what happens further. Grantraj Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam Purana ki jai, Śrīla Prabhupada ki jai, Samaveta Gaura Bhakta-vrinda ki jai, Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripasindubhya evacha, Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namo. Thank you so much. Hare Kṛṣṇa.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Bol.